Hello and welcome to the show. I am Joe Tophat. Anybody who's been a fan of Peanuts knows about Snoopy's family. Throughout the strip and the specials, we've met his siblings and his parents. Though most people are more familiar with his siblings since they've been featured in animation a lot. What many people don't know is that Snoopy at one time had a nephew. I wish I could tell you his name, but the fact is, Schultz never gave him one. He is simply known as Belle's unnamed son, or Belle's son. That's right. At one time, Belle, Snoopy's sister, had a son. For the first time since starting the Forgotten Peanuts character series, I'm going to talk about an animal character. So without further ado, let's begin. It all started in a storyline involving Snoopy traveling to Wimbledon. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. All you need to know is that Snoopy thought Wimbledon was near Kansas City, when in fact it's in England. I've often suspected that Snoopy just wanted an excuse to see his sister Belle, who happens to live in Kansas City. In fact, this storyline leads to her first appearance on June 28, 1976. The first time Belle's son is mentioned is on June 25th, where we learn that Belle's husband had run out on her, making her the only sibling to have been married with a kid. Snoopy is worried that she needs help and hopes that Charlie Brown would send her money. It's actually pretty heartwarming to know that Snoopy wants to help out his sister. On June 29th, we finally get to meet her son. Another letter from Snoopy? Dear round-headed kid, guess what happened? I found my sister Belle. And what a reunion we're having. Belle is just as beautiful as ever. Unfortunately, I can't say much for her teenage son. I gotta hand it to Schultz. He really does look like an awkward teen. I wish I could tell you about his personality, but the fact is, Schultz never gave him one. He doesn't have any dialogue. In fact, he only makes one other appearance after his debut. This is the only other strip to feature Belle's son, and it came out the day after his first appearance. As I said, my sister's son is a disappointment. They say he's a registered beagle. I think he looks more like the Pink Panther. Snoopy comes off pretty judgmental in this strip. We are never given a sense of who Belle's son is as a character. Is he rude? Is he a slacker? Does he hang out with the wrong crowd? Does he cause trouble? Is he rebellious? I wish I knew. As is, it makes Snoopy come off as a jerk to call his nephew a disappointment without giving the guy a personality. If the nephew was a jerk, I could at least understand where Snoopy is coming from. The only reason I can think of as to why Snoopy feels the way he does is because of the way his nephew looks, which is something the guy can't help. Also, his dad walked out on him, and he's being raised by a single mom, which makes Snoopy's judgment even worse. It just felt like Schultz wanted to reference the Pink Panther, so he drew a tall and thin beagle just so he could make that reference. In one interview, Schultz mentioned that he didn't like Belle. This is why he didn't use her much in the strip. So I think it's safe to assume he didn't like Belle's son either. Even though Schultz didn't like Belle, that didn't stop her from becoming fairly popular during the 70s and 80s. She was featured in a lot of merchandise. She even made a few appearances in animation. As for her son, he's been retconned out of existence. I can understand why. I think making Belle a single mom, whose husband walked out on her, was a little too adult for Peanuts. As far as I know, Belle's son has never been featured on merchandise like his mom, nor has he ever been featured in animation, and I don't think he ever will. The world remembers Snoopy's siblings very well. It's his nephew that's largely been forgotten, and maybe that's for the best. It's not like he had much of a character to begin with. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section if there are any forgotten Peanuts characters or well-known ones you wish me to talk about. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.